Okay, so how do we set up and structure your pay-per-click marketing campaigns for the minimum cost per lead and the maximum return on investment? Well, let's find out. First off, it's all about how you structure your campaign. So the number one first thing you need every single time is to set up conversion tracking. And so most campaigns I see are just tracking one type of conversion. Most limo businesses I see are only tracking the calls from ads. And so this conversion is when you're searching online on your cell phone and you see a phone number next to the ad, and you click on that phone number, that's a calls from ad. And that's easy to track because you don't need to set up any code on your website. You don't need any sort of service like PhoneWagon or CallRail, and you can track those conversions easily. Now, the types of conversions you really want to be tracking, which most limo companies are two. They are the limo anywhere conversions, and I'm going to show you that in a few more slides. Any of you using Limo Anywhere right now and having that form on your website as the only way someone can get a quote, you are just flushing tons and tons of money down the drain. So you want to be tracking your Limo Anywhere form and see how it's converting. You also, if you have a quick quote form on your website, you want to be tracking that. And you also want to be tracking the phone calls from the people that land on your website or landing page. And so how you do that is through a service like CallRail or PhoneWagon. I'll go into that in a little bit. So first off, conversion tracking needs to be set up. Next, your campaign must be broken into lots of ad groups and different campaigns based on the vehicles and services and even the locations that you offer. And I'm going to show that in one of the next slides, but it's very important that we break apart the campaign into the different vehicles and services so that, again, so that the keyword matches the ad. Super important. You really need to have a strong understanding of keyword match types and negative keywords. So if you are going to build your own Google ad campaign, I would highly, highly recommend that you read up on broad match modified, phrase match, and exact match keywords because they will make or break your campaign. And also negative keywords. You need to know what they are and how to use them, which I'm going to go over the basics in the next slides. You need to be able to write compelling text ads. Okay, so you don't want to just write an ad that just has the keyword in the ad and maybe the name of your company, right? You want your ad to speak to your ideal customer avatar. So an ad for someone looking for airport car service is going to look a lot different than an ad for someone looking for party bus rentals, right? Because you've got your corporate avatar and you've got your retail, avatar. And so you want those pages to look different. You want those ads to look different. You want to be leveraging all of the ad extensions. And so Google Ads has a bunch of different extensions. It's got, oh man, I'll go through them all later, but things like site links, things like call extensions, messaging extensions, promotion extensions, call outs, structured snippets, and I'll show you in the next slide what those look like. And again, guys, your landing page, very important. It's got to be well thought out and it's got to match that customer avatar that's landing on the page. Because if someone who is searching for a corporate car service lands on a page that is devoted to someone looking for a retail car service or a retail limo service, party bus rentals, the chance of them converting into a lead or a booking are going to be much lower. And so ongoing split testing, tweaking, and fine tuning. So essentially we never want to be running one ad. We usually always want to be running 3. We want to try out different landing pages to see which ones convert better. There's adjustments that need to happen, especially in the first few months, constant adjusting, tweaking, refining to get you more of the right type of lead and less of the type of lead that you don't want. And even to this day, with new businesses I work with, the campaigns don't always start out perfect. They always start out getting leads, but sometimes those leads might not be in just the right area. Sometimes those leads might not be, the right type. So any campaign needs ongoing refining and fine tuning. I just want to reiterate this. Don't spend money on Google Ads if you're not tracking conversions, because it's just like not tracking your return on investment. You really have no idea how well it's working. And you can't go off of people saying, oh yeah, I found you on Google. Well, that means a lot of different things, right? That could mean they found you on Yelp, but then they searched for your business on Google. That there's just so many things that can mean. So that is not sufficient. How'd you hear about us? Because most people don't even know. So here are some essentials for conversion tracking. I mentioned this earlier. So I use for the businesses, limo businesses I work with, I use PhoneWagon, but you can also use a service like CallRail. I believe there's another one called Call Tracking Metrics. Any of them can work. Essentially what they do is this. So you put a phone number, one of their numbers that you own, on your website or landing page, and that number forwards to your phone number. Okay, so what that does is it's going to record any phone call you get from your Google ad or Bing ad campaign. So we can attribute that phone call to that campaign. And if you set it up right, you can even find out the keyword the person used before they made the call, which is very, very powerful. You need form conversion tracking. So this could be, maybe you have a quick quote form on your website. Maybe you have people go to like a contact page on your website, which that's definitely not ideal. But if that is your setup, you need to be at least tracking your form conversions, whether those are from a contact form on your contact us page or preferably a form above the fold on your landing page. We need to be tracking and seeing how many forms you're getting from your Google Ads campaigns. And just conversion tracking built in to the campaigns to find out which keywords are actually leading to conversion. So when I keep saying it's so important, probably a lot of you are thinking, so why really is it so important? One, you're attributing how many leads you're getting and how much you're spending. So you know what you spent, how many leads you got. But if you're managing your own campaign or your agency is managing it for you, it is very important that this agency has the data to see which keywords are leading to these leads or conversions. A conversion is a lead again. So over time, what you find is you might, a lot of my accounts that I run might have 100 or more, 200, 300, 400 keywords. And over time, you find certain keywords lead to a much lower cost per lead. Okay, so what you want to do is eventually you start finding keywords where the cost per lead is very high. And if you have enough data and you know, okay, this keyword costs way too much per lead, then you can pause that keyword that has a very high cost per lead. And what that's going to do is that frees up budget so that the keywords with a low cost per lead get more leads. And so what that does effectively is it effectively brings down your cost per lead. So again, if you're using Limo Anywhere, you need to get your conversion tracking set up, because I'm going to show you, I believe it's on one of the next slides. I'm going to show you exactly how bad it can be if you do not have that conversion tracking set up correctly. And I actually ended up, and I consider myself somewhat technical. I actually hired someone to set up this tracking because it was pretty complex to set up, but it was very revealing, and I'll show you soon. So the most important KPIs. So what are we really looking for? And if you're working with an agency, this is the stuff that you should focus on, because if they're sending you reports, you know, you might be looking at these reports and there's just so many different things and all these numbers and it's overwhelming. Just ignore most of that stuff. Just pay attention to this. Your total spend, right? How much are you spending a month on ad spend? How much are you paying the agency? You should know those numbers. Your average cost per click. I've found in the limo industry, you should be between $1 and $5 a click. Now, $5 a click is, for 99.5% of companies, is way too high. For airport limo keywords, for any sort of party bus, anything like that, what I generally like to see is between $1.50 and $3 a click for most limo companies. So if you're paying $5 a click or more, I guarantee you your account could be doing a lot better. So keep that in mind. You never want to spend more than $5 a click unless you're doing something like Coach Bus or Mini Coach. Things like that with a higher rental cost can cost, you know, more money per click. And your average cost per lead, very important as well. Even more important than your cost per click, right? We want to be spending anywhere from $5 to probably $15 per lead. We really don't want to be spending much more than $15 a lead. And $15 a lead, I typically see in markets that are very competitive, like New York, San Francisco, things like that. So for retail limo service, again, between $4 and $15 a lead. And for corporate, so for some, I have seen some corporate car services in the very beginning of a new campaign, I have seen them get up to 20. But really, I'm going to stick with the max of $15 per lead. After the first month or two, if you're paying more than 15 per lead, I don't care if you do the most competitive airport in the US, like JFK or something, you do not want to be paying $20 a lead. That's just too high. And so this is by far the most important out of all of these. What's your ROI? Now, to calculate this, your agency, or if you've got someone doing this for you, they can't calculate this for you. You have to calculate your return on investment. They can tell you how much total you're spending a month between the ads and their fee, but they can't tell you what your ROI is. You have to be tracking that. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it and learned some takeaways that you can start applying to your business right away. If you're like most limo business owners, however, you like to be in the know about these things, but at the end of the day, you really want to find someone that can help you implement some of these strategies and plans. What I want you to do is go ahead and go to clicksprofit.com/schedule. And there you can sign up for a strategy session with myself where I can look over your current marketing efforts and see if we can start improving your online presence and getting you more leads and more bookings for your limo business. So go ahead and go to clicksprofit.com/schedule, and I look forward to speaking with you then.